Hey guys, it's Kelly and this video may be a little different. And if you're not into it, I'm totally cool with that. But Vlog-O-Ween this month for me has been about showing y'all also sides of me that are not just stitching. And yesterday was actually 11 months to the day that I started working with my trainer. So I really wanted to make this a video for myself and also share it with you guys. And so what you just saw was a little video montage of what and how I usually have for breakfast on my eating days. And what do I mean by eating days? And I don't have like a planned flow for this. I do have in my head like planned topics that I want to talk about. But I don't have like a flow. But planned eating days are, I fast. So let me back up a little bit and talk about my weight gain. And some of this may be a trigger warning. I'm gonna try not to go into details on that stuff, but simply state facts. So when it's no secret, I had 18 people die in my life in a year and a half time span back from 2006 to 2008. And I had a tremendous weight gain after my mom passed away. My body basically went into such a shock that I stopped having, sorry, I have a slight tickle in my throat. I did some yard work earlier and some like dirt dust got in there. My body basically shut down and stopped producing my hormones correctly, and I gained a lot of weight. There was also some like depression, overeating, and things like that, but a big part of it had to do with my body was not functioning the way that it was supposed to. After traumatic events, your body can go into shock, and that can happen, and then the way that you respond to that can also affect how that goes for you. In about a year, I gained 80 to 100 pounds, which is crazy. But because it was so rapid, my brain never caught up to what was happening. So that kind of created dysmorphia for me. And the best way that I can explain it is I have some friends who were always on the heavier side and they lost a lot of weight, but some of them, not everyone, few of my friends who have lost a lot of weight still buy oversized clothing and things that are too big for them, because whenever they look in the mirror and they try on clothes, they still see themselves as massive, and they're not. And so mine was kind of the opposite, and is kind of the opposite, because I am still dealing with it. So I never really understood to the extent of how bad my weight was getting, which is kind of why whenever I get asked, but don't you feel better, or, you know, like those types of questions, like, isn't life so much easier and all that kind of stuff. I never saw my life as hard, and I never saw life, like, the things that I wanted to do, I was still able to do, and my brain genuinely still, when it looked in the mirror, saw me as before I had gained all the weight. So you really only had to address it when buying new clothes or going to the doctor, and you found out, like, you know, numbers and sizes. But as soon as you got home or took the tags off the clothes and they were in your closet, they just fit you, and your brain saw it fitting you a certain way than what reality was. And so several years go by and I started working out like a crazy person, like 1 to 2 hours, 5 to 6 days a week. I was meal prepping. I was doing Weight Watchers. Like, I was doing really good. I lost about 30 to 40 pounds in the first 5 to 6 months. And then I had to get put back on birth control to regulate my hormones. And I gained it all back in a month and a half. And it was really discouraging. And then there was just issues with that. You know, I told my doctor, like, can I be on a lower dose while we figure this out so I could keep losing weight? Because we were also hopeful that weight loss would bring my hormone levels back to normal over time. And he wanted to wait until my next appointment, but then I got dysplasia, which is precancer cells. And so then I couldn't change my medications for 2 whole years. Then finally we went to a lower dose and I was able to start losing weight again, like effectively lose weight. And then I was sexually assaulted. And that messes with you. And I gained some more weight and kind of gave up for a little while. And long story short, the last year and a half, not including this one, so I guess about 2 years ago at this point, really started working with my doctor. We were trying to figure out my hormones and stuff, and we finally found a birth control because I still have to be on it to maintain all my stuff. And I had a period where I wasn't retaining vitamin D, so I was really lethargic and low energy, sleeping all the time, and I got tested for thyroid issues. Like, everything came back normal except my vitamin D was at like 11. So I had to do a vitamin D treatment for 3 months, 4 months or something like that. And now I take a daily vitamin D pill and all this, that, and the other. So I've been through the ringer with my vitamins and hormones and all that. We finally, about a year and a half to 2 years ago, got it nailed down. And everything was working great. And so I was really hopeful that if I started a fitness journey again, that it would go really well. And so 11 months ago, I went back to my gym, or I had been back at my gym, but I approached the owner about a trainer. And she happened to tell me that she was about to hire a new trainer who, one of their specialties was transformations. And so we got to, me and one of my best friends, Tracy, we got to meet with him for free. And we started working with him like instantly, and I never looked back. So, the beginning of everything in November, we had like 2 weeks to kind of like wean ourselves off of certain kinds of foods. Luckily, like, I kind of had weaned myself off of certain things like Cokes. I didn't really drink anymore, like any kind of soda. The carbs was probably the hardest. Chocolate was probably the hardest. But yeah, I had to make that decision, cut that cord, and just dived right in. And the food has been basically keto, carnivore, primal. So proteins, chicken, pork, a lot of steak, which I'm totally fine with. Veggies, like green veggies, so asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, green beans, cauliflower. I know that's not green, but you can have cauliflower. And I had to take out tomatoes and cucumbers and milk for my diet, which I'm hoping that's my birthday present, is getting my milk back in limited quantities. So fingers crossed for that, because I really, really miss milk. And the calcium in milk helps you retain your vitamin D better. So really missing my milk. But honestly, I just miss it. But I had to wait about 6 months to get tomatoes back and 7 to 8 months to get cucumbers back. And those are really the only foods that he wanted to remove that caused like inflammation that I cared about. Other things that he was like, we also want to remove this, this, and this because of these reasons. I was like, I don't even eat that, so whatever. I was concerned about, I had like 3 foods that like I really was excited to add back into my diet, and it's tomatoes, cucumbers, and milk, and I'm still waiting on milk. So he said maybe for my birthday, so fingers crossed. So anyways, so the food for me was really easy. It was stuff that I really liked. It was like scrambled eggs, bacon, steak, pork chops, chicken breasts, veggies, you know, and there's things that you can like do and be creative with it, but I stay pretty simple, if you can tell in the video. So basically, let me just jump to that really fast because I brought it up and I'm talking about the food. The little video montage of me cooking, I make habanero cheese scrambled eggs with butter every morning for on my eating days right now. So I've made those off and on this entire time, but right now in the level of my program that I'm doing with my trainer, I need like heavy protein, high fat content foods to to do my workouts, to break down the muscle and build it back up as lean muscle, and to drop fat. So that's why there's a lot of butter and cheese and eggs and steak, and that's like my breakfast. So I grill my steak to rare, medium rare, which you really aren't supposed to eat steaks over medium rare because that's what's best for your body to break it down and use the nutrients correctly. The more you cook it, those leave. So I've always been a rare, medium rare girl anyways. And sometimes I enjoy a black and blue because that meat, you know? And I do scrambled eggs. I have to have minimum 4, and I don't usually go over 6. So 4 to 6 eggs, some butter. I have to have 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter every morning on eating days. And minimum 8 ounces of steak or ground beef. I can also make, you know, like kind of like an omelet or something. And that's pretty much breakfast. The drinks that I made, the first one that was just fruit punch, and the drink that I shook up in the bottle, that's my electrolytes. That's basically a potassium and salt water combination, and since I don't eat carbs, I have to drink my electrolytes for my muscles to heal and repair and help keep me hydrated inside and all that jazz. And so that's a recipe for my trainer, and just to make it a little bit less saltwater tasting, I put a little fruit punch flavoring in it because it has no calories, no sugar, and all that kind of stuff. So it just flavors it a little bit for me. And the second drink that I made was my magnesium, and that one tastes like raspberry lemonade. And it's most women have low magnesium, so it's really good to take extra magnesium, and it helps with also like stress levels, anxiety, muscle repair, and your sleep. And yes, if I accidentally miss it a day, I do notice, but it tastes like raspberry lemonade. It's really awesome. And I have noticed a difference in starting to take that, and I started that about in the summer. And then the third drink that I made, I can have collagen on my eating days because my collagen does have calories, but it's Vital Authority collagen, and it has hyaluronic acid in it, which is even better for your skin. Collagen is already great. And I got the unflavored. They do have flavors, but since I got unflavored, I flavor the water with the fruit punch or sometimes tangerine or something like that. I give it a flavor from the little Kroger vitamin squirt flavor things. And I do 2 scoops because I don't get to take it every day. And you can do up to 2 scoops daily. I just do it because, again, I don't do it every day. So those were the drinks that I made. I drink the electrolytes and try to remember to drink my magnesium every day. And again, collagen is on eating days. So what do I mean by eating days? Back in January, I started doing intermittent fasting. We started with 16/8, and those are really easy for me because a lot of the times I wouldn't eat breakfast anyways. So I was naturally kind of doing 16/8 and just didn't really realize it. And then we moved into 18/6s and then 24s. And then I started doing 24-hour fasts. Then I got into 2 days and 3 days. And I think March was my first 7-day fast. And I love 7-day fast. And there's a lot into fasting. Some people aren't into it. Some people are. But there is a lot of health benefits that I've personally experienced. And my trainer has prepared me all along the way of what I would experience the first couple of fasts that I did that were longer. So my first 3-day fast, a pain came out of nowhere in my back, and it took me until my second 3-day fast to figure out my old back injury. I had completely forgotten that I had this old back injury that I never went to the doctor for. I fell off a deck backwards onto concrete pavers after Hurricane Ike. And I had completely forgotten. And after my second 3-day fast, I never had that pain again. So there's like moments in these fasts, like once you reach certain hours, the first ones that you do, it actually finds old injuries and it starts to repair itself naturally. And the worse the injury, I could have needed 4 3-day fasts to fully heal my back, but it took about 2.5. And my first 7-day fast, there are hour marks where it's clearing out toxins and heavy metals from your cells, and you release some demons your first 7-day fast towards the end, but once they're out, you feel fantastic. I had a ton of energy the entire time. And as long as you're going into fast with the right food, that's the key. You have to go in with the right food and nutrition for these things and come out of them with the right food and nutrition. They are actually really good for our bodies. And I've read up on some of the research, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't know as much as I want to give a mini TED talk on it. So I'm just saying my experience. I love it. It's been amazing for me. It resets my mind. There's clarity that comes with it, like mental clarity that comes with it. There's physical clarity that comes with it. You notice a difference in the way that your body like moves and stuff, and it's just fantastic. So highly recommend. I will, at the end of the video, put in my current before and after. So far, and so I did at one point lose 110 pounds. I'm now at about 102 pounds down because as my body is losing fat, gaining lean muscle, the weight is fluctuating, and my trainer is not worried that it went back up by 8 pounds because my inches are still on a downward trend, and that's what's important. So I've lost, how many inches have I lost? I don't remember. 17 and a half, 18 inches around my waist. That's the only one that we're tracking. So I know that I've lost more than that all over. I just don't know the numbers. but it's been incredible. My trainer understands, you know, like if you have a setback, it's all about your rebound and it's not getting caught in that setback for too long of a time. But he does understand that things happen and he's willing to like talk with you about things and help you work through stuff. And he's a really awesome person to have in your corner, and I am so thankful to have been working with him. I'm trying to think of what else to say. Basically, the food that I'm eating now is the food that I've been eating this whole time. I do enjoy a cauliflower pizza every once in a while. There is ice cream that is keto friendly. I have tried the Keto Enlightened. I don't like them personally. I prefer the Rebel brand, and I don't know if that's available outside of the States. I know one of my friends tried seeing if it was available in the UK, and I know that it is not available there. So it might just be a US and Canada thing. I'm honestly not 100% on that, but they are about to come out with 6 new flavors, one of them being Snickerdoodle. Kind of excited about that because I have a feeling it's going to kind of taste like horchata. And I miss horchata. I truly do. And, I mean, it's cinnamon milk. Anyways, so, I do enjoy Rebel. There are certain flavors that I like currently until the new flavors come out and I try a couple new things. My favorite is peanut butter fudge. It's so good. It tastes like a peanut butter cup, but they are coming out with a flavor called chocolate peanut butter, which I'm sure will taste even more like a peanut butter cup. But also, I wonder if it's going to be peanut butter with like chocolate swirls. They're also doing banana peanut butter, salted caramel peanut butter. There's a lot of peanut butter flavors coming out. Snickerdoodle, and I can't remember the other one. It is on their website, but Rebel ice cream, it's so good. I can have bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. I've done stuffed chicken. There's a lot that you can do, and it's not as restrictive as people think. For my birthday, we're going to go to a restaurant called the Farmhouse, and I'm going to get grilled chicken covered in chopped up bacon and mushrooms with melted cheese on top and double green beans. And that sounds so good. So it's not the most fancy of foods, but it is really great stuff. And the workouts have ranged. So I haven't worked out in the gym since March. And in March, I was about 35 to 40 pounds down. So I've done between 60 and 70 of it on my own at home by walking the neighborhood, doing my yard, doing band exercises and strap exercises. And when I was able to snag a dumbbell and a kettlebell, we started adding some 15 to 20 pound weights into my routine as well. So it's a lot of, you know, different types of movements to work out the legs, the arms, the core. It's a full body workout that he puts together. And the really cool thing about it is he tailors everything. So he doesn't do fasting with every single client. He doesn't do certain foods with every single client. He loves seafood foods. Tracy, she's living it up on seafood. I am not a seafood gal. I'm living it up on farm animals. Our workouts are totally different because we have different levels of range of motion at this point. And she also has more issues with her knees and stuff and can't do certain movements like I can. So he tailors everything specifically to you. And not to make this an ad for him, but if you are interested in finding out more about him and want more of his information, you can DM me on Instagram. I will be more than happy to share his information because he does work with online clients. So you can have a consultation with him if you'd like, see if you mesh with him. and get on his online program, which is currently what I'm doing. We just also happen to live in the same town, and I'm able to see him in person at least once a month, sometimes more often if he wants me to come in and we talk about things in person. But he has his own company doing this online, and he also has a home gym here where I'm at that he works out of. And he's also, I'm kind of a guinea pig. He's adding in some mental exercises as well. So it's about leveling out your stress and how that plays in with your physical health and things like that. So he's developing more materials to make his program an entire mind body nutrition program, and I genuinely love working with him because he isn't the type of trainer that's gonna just tell you what he wants you to do but not tell you why. He wants to explain why you're doing it, explain why you're doing it in the order that you're doing it, why you're eating the certain foods you're eating at that time. If you are somebody that he tries to do a fasting schedule with, why is it important to have the days go in this kind of an order? He wants you to understand your nutrition and your health as much as he understands it for you, because his goal is to set you up to get you to your goal, have you maintain for a little bit, and then you graduate from him. And he likes to do a complete month or so break from his clients to have them see if they do want to keep on working with him as just somebody who gives them new content for working out. But he wants to get you to a place where he can remove the safety net for a little while and you can be successful on your own and understand why you're being successful on your own and making some of those decisions. And then he's always open arms back once you've graduated and taken a little bit of time away from him and hopefully stayed successful or not, and reaching back out and saying, you know, I'm doing really good, or I think I still need some of your coaching. But I might still reach out to him and every other month be like, I want to work with you for some workouts for the next like quarter or something. And he'll tailor something for me that I can work off of, and then get back with him and be like, okay, next round, and work with him remotely that way. So I'm really excited. We are hoping that I will reach my goal within the next year, which will be really exciting. My minimum goal is about another 70 or it's like 60 to 70 pounds. I do have a scale number in mind, but and that my doctor has in mind for me, which happens to be the same number, which is really fun. Actually really fun. But I'm hoping to make it to that within the next year and then maintain for a little while. So I do still have a pretty decent goal left to go, and I'm at the point where it is a little bit harder mentally and physically, because I'm at the part where it's like the bottom half, I've heard, is some of the hardest to lose. And so it's going to be trying on me mentally and possibly also physically, but I'm ready for the challenge and I know that I can do it. And like I said, this video is more for me, but also not to brag or anything like that, but I just wanted to share my experience. I have been asked questions, so I thought if it was all in one video, that might be really helpful. And this is just going to be for me to look back on as well. And if anybody else is on the journey or wants to start the journey, you can totally do it. We are so much stronger than we think we are. And I've had bad mental days, especially lately. It has, you know, the dysmorphia for me is getting better, but it's also kind of morphing at the same time, because yes, my body is looking closer to what it remembers, and I'm getting down to the weight that my mind remembers, but my body is going to look different. And I can say that with confidence because I wore an extra large top when I was before all of this happened. And my weight was 60 to 70 pounds lighter than where I am right now. So my body is going to be different. So as I'm getting closer to what my mind remembers, I'm also getting this added layer of, but I'm not going to look like that. And I'm also really worried about loose skin, mainly because I'm terrified of surgeries. I mean, I had 18 people die in a year and a half, and a fair amount of them were from surgeries. So I do have a little bit of fear with that. And as of right now, I don't think I am willing to get surgery once I reach my goal. My mind may change, but as of right now, I am still terrified of that. And that's an honest thing. And sometimes those fears make it harder for you to want to go after your goal. So I am also not sitting here saying this has been easy. It's still not easy. It is still something that I genuinely struggle with and talk to my trainer about on the regular, which is why we're trying to do some of this new mental work, adding it in to make my mental, what I'm going through mentally as my body changes, help me not lose momentum to keep changing my body, if that makes sense. So it has been interesting. It's been different. It's been weird, but I am excited to keep going, and I just encourage anybody who has done it, who wants to do it, who is doing it. We can do this. Yes, it is hard. You know, I'm a little bit sensitive whenever people say, you look so happy in your photos, but I was always happy. I mean, I guess it's great that more of that is shining through in my photos, but it is sometimes hard to hear that mentally, because it makes you kind of feel like people didn't think that you were a happy person before, and that your weight and size makes you a happier person, because that's never how I've felt. And I know that it's coming from a kind, genuine place, but it does cause some mental acrobatics for some people going through a weight loss journey, or even a weight gain journey. I have friends who want to gain some weight, and so it goes both ways. And it's hard. It is hard, but we can do it. We can do it. And I just wanted to share what I've been going through. And like I said, I will put the before and after photos right here. The before is from November 19th, 2019. And the present picture is from October, yikes spikes, what day was that? October 16th, 2020. So I'm really proud of myself. I can't wait to keep going. But it's a journey, and every day, if you mess up, you just have to get back up, be open and honest about it. And that's all that my trainer asks. Just be open and honest with me. If you mess up, you mess up. We move on. And I love it. And anyways, that's about it for this video. Oh, I didn't say what my dinners are. So for my dinners, usually it's like a piece or two of chicken, or 1 or 2 pork chops, depending on their size. They have like the little center cut medallion pork chops. I'll usually make 2 of those. Chicken breasts, sometimes if they're really big, I'll only have 1. If they're on the smaller size, I'll have 2. And I either grill or bake them. in different seasonings, which you have to also be careful of your seasonings on what's in them, and their sugar contents and things like that. And if they add a bunch of starches and stuff for preservatives. But yeah, either grill or bake some chicken or pork chops, and I usually have a green vegetable like green beans or asparagus, Brussels sprouts, love them, broccoli, all the good stuff. And yeah, I treat myself sometimes with a cauliflower pizza, ice cream, peanut butter cups from Lily's, and one of my cousins also does keto, and she's gonna send me, she does a lot of baking, she's gonna send me a couple of really fun recipes to make keto friendly like bread and stuff like that. So that'll be really exciting to have. Like, I could make like a burger, which will be really fun. So or like a BLT. And so anyways, you just have, there's alternatives for all of it. You just have to find them, and it's really not that bad. I actually love it, but you have to do what is right for you, your nutrition, your body, your goals. And it's all about finding the right information for you, and sometimes the right trainer for you. And like I said, if you want to know more about my trainer, I tag him on Instagram all the time. But if you just DM me on Instagram at KelliAnn86, I will be more than happy to pass on his information if you want to check him out. Yeah, thank you guys for listening to my story. I hope that maybe it was helpful to somebody, or maybe even inspiring. And just know that some of you guys who have already done this and are doing it too at the same time as me, y'all are inspiring me, and I love that we can all inspire each other, because that is just so important. You have to encourage each other, and just we're all a team in this, is how I feel. And I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just get excited. I talk with my hands a lot, and just spread the love and encouragement, and all of us doing it in 2020. Wow. We're killing it. All right, that's it for this one. I hope that y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.